So some big news in the legal world this week, obviously talking about the Donald Trump verdict. Without getting into politics, I am certainly not here to advocate for one political party or the other. That's not what this channel is for. This is all legal, objective analysis. This case had some very interesting legal issues. One of the big questions a lot of people are asking is, why isn't he being charged criminally for this? The main reason is, in this country, criminal cases require a much higher burden of proof. Criminal cases, we're talking about somebody's freedom, their liberty, potentially their life. So the burden of proof is much, much higher than when we're talking about money, as in civil cases. In a criminal case, the burden of proof is beyond all reasonable doubt. That is way up here. 95% or above. There's no exact number, but for purposes of this discussion, 95%, if not more, that the defendant committed the crime he is being accused of. Civil cases, it is down here, 50%. Greater weight of the evidence. The actual term for the burden of proof is preponderance of the evidence, and that simply means, is it more likely or not the person being accused of whatever they're accused of committed it. 51% chance they did it, well, you met your burden of proof. 49% chance they did it, you did not meet your burden of proof. So much, much different than a criminal case. The other interesting aspect is this case typically would have been barred by New York's 20-year statute of limitations for most sexual abuse cases. However, last year, Governor Hochul signed into law what's called the Adult Survivors Act, and it allowed a 1-year window starting 6 months after she signed the bill for survivors of sexual abuse to bring a lawsuit, even if it's past that 20-year statute of limitations. Donald Trump was not found liable for rape. This is the verdict form here. A few interesting questions the jury had to determine. By a preponderance of the evidence, did Mr. Trump rape Miss Carroll? No. Did Mr. Trump sexually abuse Miss Carroll? Yes. Miss Carroll was injured as a result of Mr. Trump's conduct? Yes. Mr. Trump's conduct was willfully and wantonly negligent, reckless, or done with a conscious disregard of the rights of Miss Carroll? Yes. If so, how much should Mr. Trump pay to Miss Carroll in punitive damages? Punitive damages are where we're talking about punishing somebody for their acts, not compensating the person that was injured. 20 grand in punitives. Did Miss Carroll prove by preponderance of the evidence that Mr. Trump's statement was defamatory? So on his social truth app, he basically denied everything and said some things about Miss Carroll, and she alleged that it was defamatory. The jury said yes, it was. Did Miss Carroll prove by clear and convincing evidence that Mr. Trump's statement was false? Yes. Did they prove that Mr. Trump made the statement with actual malice? Yes. Did they prove Miss Carroll was injured as a result of Mr. Trump's publication on October 12th of last year? Yes. How much in damages for the harm to her reputation? $1 million. A dollar amount for the reputation repair program. $1.7 million for the reputation repair program only. And finally, in making the statement, did Mr. Trump act maliciously, out of hatred, ill will, spite, or wanton, reckless, or willful disregard for the right of another? Yes. If so, how much should Mr. Trump pay to Ms. Carroll in punitive damages? $280,000. That is the verdict. Didn't find that he committed rape, but that he did sexually abuse her and defame her. In Florida, typically, most sexual abuse cases have a 4-year statute of limitations. There are always exceptions. If you are the victim of a sexual assault case, even if it's past 4 years, there may be a way to seek compensation, but typically, in general, it is 4 years. Let us know in the comments what you think about this verdict.